All right, y'all. So I was just thinking to myself prior to starting to record, and I don't know, I got mixed feelings about today's video, but we're going to get into it and I'm going to kind of explain why. So the reason I say I got mixed feelings about it is because this is something that I learned, but I didn't master yet. And I feel like it's a little different, or it feels a little bit different when you're trying to explain something to someone or explain something to someone that you haven't mastered yet yourself. You know what I mean? But I have done it. So I just have to speak again, as with everything, from my experience. And I'm excited because I purposely have done this technique that I'm going to express and share with you. And the shit actually worked. Like, it fucking works. But yeah, so I learned this from a spiritual teacher named Neville Goddard. And he used to teach about like law of attraction and manifestation. And he really breaks down the understandings between your mentality and the power of Christ and what it truly means. He breaks down different, verses and stuff from the Bible and relate it to your mind and the power that's within you, which I love about both him and excuse my hands, I got ink from a pen on my hands. But yeah, both him and Reverend Ike teach it in the same way. And I love that. But yeah, he used to teach people like back in the 1920s, and he would have gatherings and host events, and he would have people, you know, come in so that he can teach them the power of their mind. That, if you persist in something and focus your attention on it, his thing was you had to feel it as done. You had to live from the end of it. And one of his favorite and most, powerful teachings is imagination. And he would teach them how to create their reality through their imagination. And what he would tell them is, I want you all to visualize, and it's called the ladder method. You could look this up on YouTube, either ladder method or ladder technique, Neville Goddard, and it'll show up, trust me. So I ain't the only person that knows about it. It's just not everybody knows about it, but a lot of people do. Enough for you to get more details, not just from me. Do your own research. So he would tell them to imagine yourself. You can imagine yourself seeing a ladder before you and climbing that ladder, just one step at a time, and like really visualize yourself climbing the ladder. And then he would tell them to do this before they went to bed. Now, there's a thing called state akin to sleep, which is an in-between state. It is a state between consciousness and fully like subconsciousness, if that makes sense. It's like the in-between. You're not quite asleep, but you're not quite awake. You feel this only 2 times throughout the day. Well, maybe 3. One, daydreaming is the closest equivalence to it. Look at this, just ghetto. Anyway, one is daydreaming. That's the closest to what it would resemble as far as feeling is concerned. But a daydream is kind of a state akin to sleep. It's like you're present, but not really. You kind of like out of it. You know what I mean? But you also feel it right before you drift off to sleep. It's very slight, but it's there right before you drift off. And a lot of you probably know what I mean. You done felt where you like kind of up, kind of sleep. Or you feel it right before you fully wake up. It's that in-between state. Me personally, I want to try to do it before bed and between that in-between state right before I wake up. I'm practicing on some things and I just want to see what's going to happen. So we'll get into that. But yeah, so he would tell them to do that before they go to sleep. And the best way to do it is to lie in a position where you don't normally fall asleep like that. So for me, that would be on my back. I don't sleep on my back. So I would lay on my back and I would drift off to sleep, but I know I can't fully fall asleep laying on my back. That's where you want to be. So pick a position and you know that you don't, you know yourself. You know you don't fall asleep on your, whatever that is, that's where you would do it. And then throughout the day, he would tell them to say to themselves, I will not climb the ladder. I will not climb the ladder. I will not climb a ladder. He even told them to write it down and put it in their wallet to read it every time. I will not climb the ladder. However, every night he told them to climb a ladder in there, you know, with your mind's eye. You got to see it with your mind's eye. So imagine before bed that you're climbing the ladder. You got to see it. Right in that state akin to sleep, that in-between state. And then just drift off to sleep. Eventually you'll roll over, you'll get tired of laying in your uncomfortable position, but as long as you just keep looping yourself climbing the ladder, just do that. Then throughout the day, you're going to say, I'm not going to climb the ladder. I'm not going to climb the ladder. No matter what, just keep saying it. It's to show you that, and he has done this with several people, like all over the world. It is to show you that despite the things you may say, and if you watch my last video, although it wasn't much in it, this is why that last video was important. It wasn't much then, but it should click now. I said watch the videos in order. Don't say I ain't tell you. That's all I'm gonna say. So if you watch that last video, the whole point of the method of why he telling you to climb it at night, but say what you're gonna say that you're not gonna climb it throughout the day, is to show you that it's not about what you say. None of that matters. It's about what you feel. When you are imagining something and you loop it, your mind doesn't know the difference. This is what it should get good, y'all. Your mind doesn't know the difference between an imaginal act and an actual reality. Think about it. For all my adults, you know what masturbation is. When it's just you and you visualizing, let's be adults. Y'all know what this is. We all grown. You visualizing. How are you able to get there? It's because your mind at that time doesn't, you may know, but your mind at that time, if you visualize it, doesn't know the difference that you're not really doing whatever it was you visualizing. That's how you get there. Boom. Done. And y'all know what I'm talking about. But it's the same exact thing. It's not what you say. It's what you feel, because as you're imagining, you're also feeling. And when you loop it every night and you get so used to it, your mind picks it up as if it's normal. And that's where you want to be. That's where you want to be with everything. You know why it's not so easy? I could talk about manifesting a penny, a nickel, and all this other shit, but it's not so easy for me to say, oh, $1 million. It's because I've been on this earth for 32 years. I've never had $1 million. That's not normal. I would have to loop that so many times to impress my subconscious and make it actually normal. And then a bridge of incidences will happen in order for me to attract that millions. This is how it works with everything. Every single thing. A little tidbit about me. I remember sleeping on a blow-up mattress, visualizing sleeping in a room. I am now in a room. That's all I'm going to say about that. So it works, and that's where I said I wanted to speak on experience. And this is why I said in prior videos, watch the damn videos. In prior videos, I'm messing with y'all, but yeah, the prior videos where I said circumstances don't matter, despite me being on the blow-up bed, I had to still make a conscious decision and effort to visualize myself in my bed, the bed that I prefer, the bed that I want. Voila. We here. I got it. And did nothing. When I tell you nothing, it all happened for me. Effortless action. And that's going to be, we're going to get into that too. I'm doing them in order for a reason. It should all be connected. And if you watch it, it's just, the dots just going to keep connecting. One thing I'm good at is connecting dots. and reverse engineering them. So you just got to trust me on this. We gonna go there. Y'all want to know what the hell it is? This is what it is. And it's a rabbit hole it goes. But yeah, despite these people saying that they weren't going to climb the ladder throughout the day because they visualized it at night, they were either seeing people climb ladders, or they actually climbed a ladder themselves. You can go on YouTube and look this up for yourself. We have the resources. People, they can't hide this type of stuff from us no more. We got too many resources. Too many resources to be clueless about this type of stuff. That's why we behind. And y'all know what I mean when I say we. It's time to catch up. And we've been catching up just fine. And we're going to continue to do so. But we got too many resources for you to close your mind on what I'm telling you. You got to open your mind and unlearn to relearn. Be open and accepting of different forms of information, no matter how crazy it may sound. And you can just take what resonates with you. If it's too out there for you, that's fine. Eliminate it. You don't have to accept it. But if it resonates somewhere in you, or you're interested, it's for a reason. Follow that. Believe that. Trust that. So, if you look it up, you'll see people's results on how they, like I said, they either climbed the ladder, saw someone climb it, or they found one, and you could just do the research for yourself. Neville Goddard's ladder method. Okay? But yeah, I've experienced it. When I first learned about it, was like maybe sometime 2 years ago. I never really understood it the way that I kind of understand now. There is a channel on YouTube called The Manifestation House. I'll make sure to correct it, but Manifestation House, or The Manifestation House. And it's a girl. She talks about this type of stuff too. And she's into Abraham Hicks and Neville Goddard and stuff too. And she is the one who is kind of like introducing me to the importance of things being normal. Now, I already knew that, because that's the whole purpose of habits and things like that. When you do something and make it a habit, eventually it's not a chore. In the beginning, going to the gym is a bitch. But after a while, you keep going. It's a habit. It's normal. Same with your visualizations. When you're really living in your visualizations, you got to feel it as it's for real. Just like I'm sitting here right now and I can feel the texture of my blanket, and like, you got to really feel it as real. And it may seem, I promise you, when you first start, it may seem crazy. But you got to remember, once upon a time, your imagination was on fleek. When we was kids, we didn't have to think twice about this. We can easily imagine whatever. That was for a reason. We get older and we forget shit. We forget the shit that benefits us the most. Being happy and using our imagination. Major keys. Hella leverage out here. None of this shit matters, no matter how fucked up it looks, if you can master them too. Your imagination and your ability to choose happiness and actually be that because you want to, because you prefer it. Because what other fucking choice is it? Why would I just not be happy? Now, if it's something you just absolutely can't help, okay. Granted, I digress. Fine. But when it's something you can actually take a stance and you can do it. It's certain situations where it may feel like, but this is what's happening, but it's just a circumstance. You smarter than that. You could still choose happiness. It just take practice. Especially now because you're older. But when you was a kid, you didn't think twice about that. And I know you're saying, well, I had an awful childhood. All of it chosen, orchestrated. That's a whole nother video. You picked that. But I ain't gonna go there. That's a whole nother video. We ain't nowhere near that. But yeah. So, yeah, like, I just find it amazing. And I think it's something that needs to be shared and definitely experienced with. I'm smiling because I'm thinking about all the stuff that I just want to try it with. But that's another thing. The importance of making things normal is super beneficial, and it's the key to really seeing it work. If I were to try it as someone who has never done it before, to give you the best advice from my perspective, I would do it on something that you know you're not attached to. Like, I would imagine if you close your eyes right now and you imagine that you are holding a tennis ball, you can see that. You can see the color. You can even feel the fuzziness of it, the texture. I want you all to do that before bed with any subject. If you want to take that one, that's great. I would love to see somebody take that and actually fucking do it and say, look, I gotta fucking, you know what I mean? That'll be dope. But if not, you can always choose something that still doesn't matter to you, but that's easy for you to see when you close your eyes. And just take your time and do it. When you lay down, take a deep breath, calm your body, relax, exhale, and just relax. And then start your visualization process. Get calm first, real calm, steady, stillness, relax yourself, that type of thing. And then you visualize and get into that connection, that space that you need to be in order to clearly see what it is that you're doing. That's what makes it easier. The calmer you are, the better you are at relaxing. Then visualize. And you just want to feel. And then keep doing it. The more you do it every night, the more you're making it normal. And you know how you'll know that it's getting normal? Because after a while, it's not that you get tired of visualizing it. It's like, okay. Like, okay. But don't do it the first night and say, okay. Like, you got to keep doing it because you've never done it before. And it just goes back to other videos as well. And I say, life is not about the things that you say. It's about your emotions and how you feel the tennis ball. It's feeling. Everything is feeling. What you can imagine with your 5 senses is beneficial to your creation, to your reality. Use your senses in your imagination. That's what a lot of people don't talk about when it comes to this. To make something normal, use all the senses you can think of in your imaginal act. What do you see? What would you smell? You know what a new car smells like. You know what paint on freshly, new walls in the new building or apartment or whatever, or home that you want. What can you hear? People congratulating you, your friend on the phone saying, girl, good job. You know what I mean? Get creative with it and really do it and keep doing it, because now you're teaching your subconscious that this is something that's normal. I need to find a way to bridge the gap where this person is over to this because I'm behind. She's clearly or he's clearly living in this state, but I got to get her there. That's how it works. And I have to break that down in a whole nother video, just strictly about the subconscious. But this is about the technique itself on what to do to impress it. And the best way to do that is in a state akin to sleep. And that's something else you can do your homework on YouTube. What is state akin to sleep? And how to obtain a state akin to sleep. But I don't want to make the video too long. I just thought that was interesting. I've found it to be interesting. I've witnessed myself imagining things before I go to sleep. This is probably the biggest manifestation as far as using it. And I was just doing it to see what would happen. Everything else was like little things. Like if I'm missing something, like I lost something, keys, or I couldn't find my charger one time, I would imagine that I have it. I got it now, or it's in my hands, or I'm plugging it in, using it. As I fall asleep, and eventually I'll find it. It'll just show up. I didn't have to do anything. I was led to whatever I was cleaning, or I needed to get something out of my closet, and there it was the whole time. That's what I mean about effortless action too, and bridge of incidents. Certain incidents will lead you directly to what it is that you've imagined, because it's what you're focusing your attention and your awareness through imagination on. And what I said about imagination is a feeling. It's a feeling. Being able to visualize in your mindset takes feeling. There's no other sense. You ain't got no eyeball like in here. Like, it's a feeling. You're conjuring up feelings that project a picture. And the better you get at conjuring up, the more easier it's going to get, the more normal it's going to be for you to do it, and the more your subconscious is going to know that that is her most dominant state or his most dominant state. I have to deliver. It got to be rendered. It's the law. It's the law. That is the law. What you focus on is what you attract. What you put your full awareness on, your attention, is what you attract. And that through feelings. That's why emotions is so important. You got to have emotional intellect. You got to know when it's worth it and when to dip in and dip out. But don't stay. Don't linger. Don't sulk. That's what you don't do. That's what you do not do. I'm recording. Close my door. But yeah. But I'm going to end it at that. That's my child. I got mommy duties to do. Let me make sure I'm not missing nothing. Yeah, y'all do y'all research. Really just look it up and take the time to think about it. But it's Neville Goddard's ladder method. Look up state akin to sleep. Look up the power of your imagination. All of that. And tell me what you think. Do it. I want to see what y'all gonna say. See if y'all really paying attention or not. But, all right, it's dinner time. I am out. I don't know about these videos being Sunday in the morning because I'm tired. But I may have to change some things around. I like doing it, just now when I got off from work because I get off at 7. I was supposed to get off later than that, but changed my mind. I'm tired. Like, I'm too tired. I had overtime, but forget it. I just need to rest. But, yeah, I'm gonna figure some things out because I want to keep making sure that I'm comfortable when I'm making my videos. Once they become a chore, I ain't going to do it. And I don't want it to feel like it's a chore. I want it to be comfortable. And today was really good. So, and I don't want to rush through. I want to really, get out what I need to say. But thanks for watching. If you've watched this far, I appreciate y'all. Let me know what you think. You can always write me, message me. For those of you who have my number, text me. But yeah, from the depths of my soul, I love you all. And of course, my intent, as always, is that as I learn, so will you. Be out.